Okay, moving on towards semi-finals. We're gonna have Korea versus Japan now. Sibun coming out as Nightwatch, Hamato as Cordy, Nyang as Patient. We allowed a Seer to come out once. I don't understand. Why the hell are you not banning Seer as Nightwatch? This never ends up well. This is a tourney. This is not rank. Cause like the main issue with Nightwatch is tie kiting him counters him. Right, even if you do break pallets, it still counters them because Seer has an owl. If you do chase after Seer, it's annoying. If you chase after anyone else here, they're gonna get an owl support. So I still don't understand why we're still not banning Seer against a Nightwatch, unless they just decide to opt out for Seer immediately to gain that first game advantage. So then like Seer will be perma banned forever. But anyways, on towards the game we go. We're gonna have Hamitsu here coming out as coordinator. We're gonna drop down the pallet, go straight upstairs. I'm gonna not lag while commentating this, but Cordy going a little bit closer towards the edge right there, waiting for the hunter to come out. The moment the red light comes out, it will indicate Cordy to immediately go. But anyways, taking the double speed boost right there, I'm quite sure this is Cordy after buff. Right, because Cordy's buff and Nightwatch's nerf are two different patches, so Cordy this patch should be pretty darn strong. We should be seeing another slow debuff applied on towards Hamato here, but with Sibun there being a little bit skeptical on whether he should move forward or not, that is going to be the owl to come out, allowing Hamato to successfully rotate out. But with tier 1 open here and a mini pause, we're gonna look at these gentlemen's faces, handsome gentlemen's faces, and move forward here. Now then, breaking down the pallet, it seems like Hamato may actually be forced to use the gun here, but there is a light. Right, we also haven't learned our lessons about this is Cordy. That is genuinely speaking the player's fault, but by that point that is actually the player's fault. By that point, that was fully the player's fault, not Cordy. That was not the characters. That was the player's fault. They know themselves there was a pole there to use, and they know themselves it's probably better to take the normal hit instead of getting a pole hit. But anyways, back into the game we go. Sivu here again. It's not really that much of an advantage because once again, right, if you get a blink down, it's a tie game for you, and from then on out, depending on how bad the survivors mess up, then it could possibly be a win. But usually the survivor, well, 90% of the time the survivor wouldn't really mess up, right, and giving free hits like that. But anyway, sitting here trying to rotate around this area, the world tree, just for a little bit. It seems like we won't be using our pocket watch just yet, but allowing Ham to get out there, taking the window speed boost, rotating out of this area, just allowing the survivors to decode these cipher machines is basically what is more important in situations like these. But Hamato getting that pulled straight in towards the pallet bowl. For Sibun, that was his own fault because he should have positioned himself better in a scenario like that. But with a charge attack hit right there alongside with impulsive, the little speed booster really helped out quite a bit, didn't it? But now then, seeing the cipher machine progress right here, we have two cipher machines done at 3 ciphers at 50% on average right here. So what most likely would happen is City would go and finish off Seer's cipher machine, but also at the same time Seer probably will just rotate off towards the other 50% cipher machines that are left on the field. But for now it seems like City is actually going straight towards other cipher that he was decoding earlier on, which is at 64. Now then, rotating out here immediately, we see that Dorisu is putting quite a bit of the distance right here. It seems like they are opting out for selling here immediately though, because if they did want to rescue, the Seer would have already been at that breakable pallet and window. So as of now, it seems like Japan survivors are aiming for the tie. For Sibun, I guess, for Sibun himself, this is really good, considering the fact that this is Japan survivors as well, who basically can aim for 3-man escapes and 4-man escapes. But getting a tie here on game 1 should be more than enough, especially when you're against a Seer. I'm hoping that the Seer would become permaban, because if it's not permaban, then that would be really bad for the hunter, honestly, if this is a recyclable Seer. But anyways, we are able to get we didn't get a normal hit on towards Seer, but Seer doesn't have flywheel though. How did that miss is our main question. But there we go, registering the normal hit, but seeing the cipher machine progress right here, seems like it wouldn't be enough to prevent the survivors here at all from their decoding progress, therefore getting rid of that speed boost and then jumping. Oh no, we blinked over. Blinking over there wouldn't be the best option, you see, cause well, okay, there's basement there, but it may be better just to break the pallet to prep for endgame. Eh? We're standing still. Why? We want the. I mean, I could see why Sibu wanted that, but also at the same time I felt like he kind of knew the Cypher Machine progress anyways, so like opting out for that situation is kind of a, you could say it's high risk high reward. But with a Cypher Machine pop right here, Seer, let's see, can we get Seer's POV please? Can we please get Seer's POV? We don't have Seer's POV, it's completely on First Officer right now. I kind of want to see Seer's owl rate right now, owl regeneration rate, but with that down, it seems like it will be a tie. It seems like it will be a tie because sharing here takes like around 10 seconds. And First Officer still has another pocket watch that's ready to go now, and Patient is nearby as well. So let's just congratulate round 1 first half for a tie. Let's move on towards second half. Okay, we're gonna have Aka coming out here. Onisuke as Antiquarian, we have a Wildling A4, and then MC as Female Dancer, and then Goguma is gonna spawn directly into Story. Aka is gonna be at the corner to lock Goguma's Cypher Machine. Oh, by the way, just to recap game 1, Sibun didn't ban Seer. Well, Sibun didn't ban Seer at all. Right, so that means the Seer round 1 was recyclable, so they can use again in round 2. Yeah, that issue there. Imagine there was no Seer and Cordy just got the normal gun. Well, I mean, to be fair, regardless of that, whatever, you know what, whatever. I just never understand why don't you ban Seer, because, whatever. Okay, moving on towards second half, we're gonna have triple flywheel here on the Antiquarian, Psychologist and Female Dancer, but of course, we're gonna have the tie turner on Wildling. Aka coming out as Insolence Detention here. Well, I mean, it wouldn't really be Insolence Confined Space because this is our factory and we don't really want to do that, but with a tie game right here, Aka coming out first. For him to secure the tie, it shouldn't be that hard, but for the survivors here, the moment they mess up one of their flywheels, I think it's going to be the end of their whole, well, not their whole career, but like it will be the end of their game 1. Anyways, the first Tempest will be stacked right here on Aka's side. We are running Insolence Detention with quenching effect, 1 stack of Hunter's Instincts. We do also have Control Freak to drop down speed boost, and of course Berserker right there. Now then, with MC rotating around, the Female Dancer seems like she'll be found immediately because of the slow music box deployment. Coming back to deploy the slow music, to deploy the pallet down and breaking the pallet. Most likely won't be breaking the slow music box here because even with the slow music box being there, it doesn't really affect Nightwatch that much. So like with the priority here given to the Female Dancer, first hit we've actually registered at 45 seconds in towards the game right now. Now the second slow music box may be deployed, but for Aka right here, it probably would be better for him to get rid of the slow music box, but it seems like for Aka he kind of wants to bait it out a little bit. Now with 2 slow movement debuffs, it wouldn't be enough to really counter the Nightwatch that much, but for Aka here, waiting for the flywheel, very nice patience, and that's going to be immediate down. Now why does Aka know that this Female Dancer has flywheel, as we all do know as well? It is because the moment she vaulted that pallet or window, there was no speed boost given at all. Therefore, it can only really mean one thing at the end of the day. Now then, with these slow music boxes being deployed down, even if Mercy comes in to rescue immediately, I would dare to say that it doesn't really matter much, because even if it's a, well, not Mercy, Wildling, even if it's a no damage rescue, your main issue is it's a 20-second versus a 30-second share time. So if you rescue immediately right there, you'll only buy 20 seconds instead of like your 50 seconds. But with a double hit on Wildling right there, it concludes a game over, which is a little bit unfortunate here for Korea's MC side. Not only did they kinda through everything, Aka also just got a second hit on towards the Female Dancer right there. And now we only have Gokuma, who's currently the Psychologist decoding the Cypher Machine. With that pallet down, that was not necessary on Female Dancer side, because not only you have gotten rid of your put down. Ooh, that didn't swipe on time, Onisuke. But like putting that pallet down simply means 2 things. Flywheel coming out. First thing is you wasted your resources, and then second thing is you can't use that pallet anymore for rebound kiting. So everything goes down to Onisuke trying to harass here for a little while. But like in situations like these in which we're trying to like buy as much time as possible, we're gonna pick Female Dancer up here, and you basically get nothing out of it. Seems like we didn't want to stab there from Onisuke's side, or he could have stabbed, but he only used 1 there, right? So like, the one he used was sweep. I'm quite sure it wasn't stab, but with Wildling here using up the self-heal, Now, what the issue is they're missing 2 full cipher machines. Wildling currently has currently can only max heal up to 60%. Meanwhile, Oniska getting that normal hit right there because he doesn't have flywheel anymore. Missing that stab right there, that's a double down scenario in which not only A, Goguma has to heal the Wildling for a considerably amount of time, B, MZ's dead. So, in this situation, where did it all go wrong? It all went wrong with the double down scenario. The double down scenario killed everything right there. Not only should we not have run at this in the same direction, the second biggest issue, well, I would like to argue that the biggest issue probably was Wildling not getting on board immediately, because Akka still did have blink, so the potential blink down was there for a double down, especially when female dancer has no items end game as well. For A4, his main goal, or her main goal, if we're gonna use the pronouns based on players, even though I don't really care, her main goal would be, okay, I need to get away from here safely, or just help female dancer, body block female dancer, help her rebound in a scenario like that. That would be what we want to aim for, but okay, that's a second hit immediately. Wow, Akka with those mind games though. Jesus. And now what else does Akka have? 2 dashes for himself to use right there. He does have a Typhoon to use right now. Typhoon, that's going to be a mini pullback, but we're going to change immediately. No, we're going to blink out immediately instead of playing mind games right there. And there goes down Oniske. But anyway, as I was analyzing, right after the rescue, you really should be getting on board immediately. If you don't get on board, you're screwed, right? Because getting on board means 2 things. First thing is you can body block twice for a female dancer, and second thing is even if you can't body block, you can at least harass. You have 50-second board time. You can at least harass. But for A4 not to do that and allowing a double hit down, I guess it was more of a... I wouldn't say carelessness, I would say it was more of a surprise for them. But like in scenarios like that in which hunters basically benefit way too much from double hitting, especially when you're missing cipher machines and you don't want to double down, that was not good for you at all. Then with the survivors here trying to run around as much as possible, for Akka, he does have full leverage here to, like, you know, just play around, test the waters out a little bit and be like, oh wait a second, I never knew Korean teams were this easy to go against. Now all my Korean viewers who are watching me, which is basically 1% or even not even close to 0.1% of you all. None of you probably speak English. I'm not sorry, because this sadly is just a reality right now with the Korean team. Game 1, that was a lot of mistake. That was a lot of mistake made, especially with the first early hit against that female dancer, in which I would argue probably shouldn't have come back with that pallet stun. I would argue probably shouldn't have come back with that pallet stun. Right? Even if you did come back with a pallet stun, at least like rotate towards that pallet and then like go straight towards the window. If you can't go towards the window, just stay near that pallet and play around that pallet, which gives you more chances to actually do something. Or even like just run into the restaurant instead of coming out here in such open areas. And then with A4 getting on board here once again, here's the issue. Board is only 20 seconds. First board was used and cancelled. Second board was used and A4 immediately got down to decode. And now this is the third board, which means it's only 30 seconds if I'm not wrong. You may argue 30 seconds is quite long, but like in a scenario in which you're missing 3-fold cipher machine, a Wildling having a movement speed debuff when off board, I dare to argue that Wildling is basically dead here. And he's being slugged for the 3rd time now. This is 3rd time on the ground. With a Typhoon here being activated, Akka most likely knows where Goguma is, considering the fact that Cypher Machine was still shaking during the time that he knocked Wildling down. But with Goguma here coming out from the outer areas of... Oh well, there goes the blink down. Let's congratulate Akka here for the immediate 4-man elimination. 7 minutes and 3 ciphers remaining. Let's move on towards game 2 then, shall we?